Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to January 2019. I cannot believe we are here yet. I really can. I keep saying that, and it's just like, it feels like January 2019. Welcome to your birthday season. I'm so excited about that. If you guys are looking for a cohesive, overarching discussion about the year ahead, I have those Vimeo videos out. They go over the major aspects, the major transits, any of the major kind of things that are going to thematically play out. And we also pull some cards and we feel through all the energy. It's a really fun way to feel empowered for your year and make it what you want to make it. Before we get into the conversation about the month, the beginning of your season, I want to give you guys a little New Year's toast to Aquarius. You all are my greatest teachers, and you do it in a way that is so special and fun, and I feel so deeply connected to you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your passion and your sense of humor and your creativity and your integrity and your intensity and all the beautiful things you bring to this world. I appreciate you with everything I have. Life would not be the same without you. Thank you guys, and Happy New Year's. Just have a little sparkling water in there, and it's very refreshing. It's very refreshing. Yeah. All right. So, January is always an interesting time for Aquarians. It's that prep time. Capricorn season is this time of integration, and it can lower your energy a little bit and get you kind of just more internalized and a little bit more reflective. So if you're feeling a little lower energy at the beginning of this month, it's not surprising because we have Sun and Saturn conjunct in Capricorn on the 2nd. We have Mercury moving into Capricorn on the 5th. We have a new moon in Capricorn on the 6th. And then, of course, we have some things going on in Aries. We have Mars is popping into Aries on the 1st of the year. And we have Uranus going direct in Aries on the 6th, the same day as that new moon. But all this energy in Capricorn is like pulling Aquarians back a little bit to just touch in. Touch in with where you've been, where you're going. And I think that can be a beautiful thing. But the note that I had was that you guys are riding on two very different frequencies in January. It kind of shifts from this one that's very deeply internalized into this high intensity movement based energy. 10 of Pentacles popped out. Nice. I mean, partially it's like your season begins around the 20th, and then right away on the 21st, we have this Leo full moon that's also a total lunar eclipse. Now, the north node of the moon and the south node of the moon moved out of Leo and Aquarius a few months ago. But this last Leo lunar eclipse is giving us one last little doorway closeout. So for Leo and Aquarians, this is a really symbolic moon. It's very personal for us. Whoa. 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, and Strength came out. Okay. Complexity. Am I surprised, Aquarians, that you guys have complexity in your reading? I don't know why would I think it wouldn't be complex? Like, what world do I think I'm living on? Okay, but it's a doorway moon. It will be for everybody, but it's very personal. Your opposite sign, it's opening up your birthday season with all the energy starting to move into Aquarius, including, Mercury meets up with you guys on the 24th. So you're starting to get more and more of that directional focused moon came out energy as we move into your season. So there's really two parts to the month. And I think this happens every January. There's kind of that dualism going on. But you are stepping into a new energetic field in the doorway of that moon. And so all around the doorway of that moon and all around the doorway of heading into your birthday season, there's a sense that you are in that hallway in between. You've closed one door. You're taking a breath. You're working through some of these more complex streams, and you're opening up that next door. And that's a legitimate part of the journey. It's not just something to get over with. There's some really cool stuff that goes on in that hallway. And I think that's one thing to keep in mind. King of Swords, you guys are in your full power as you hit into this season, right? There's some of the best things in life happen in this hallway. I want to say that it's not just something to say, oh, you know, you're low energy, you're integrating, you're just waiting around for the good stuff. Like, no, good stuff is going to be all around you, and there's going to be a lot of information coming in. Nine of Pentacles. Very nice, you guys. Very nice. We'll pull a couple more. And then we're going to talk through what is going on here, because there is some complexity. There are some things to just make a nod to. Oh, man. Yep. Five of Cups and the Hermit. Five of Cups came out for Leo as well. And like I said, we have that really interesting dynamic where we are always interlinked because we share the same axis. So our worlds are always going to be tied together to some extent as far as how we move through the world. And we're the fixed winter and sun signs, so we just have a cool relationship. But this is a time to acknowledge any of those little grieving parts of ourselves, right? So let's look at these cards, because you'll notice something as I put up these first four. They work as a set, because, you know, you look at the anchoring points here, the Ten of Pentacles and Strength, which are so benevolent, right? These are all about building slow and steady and focused on something that really matters to you, on deep love, on deep sense of community, on a sense of purpose, on what you're doing in the world. These energies on each end here speak to the richness of that experience and it being around you, building forward on something really gorgeous, you guys, really, really meaningful and profound and gorgeous and supportive of you. But in the middle, we have some deeper themes coming up. And I tell you what, January is just one of these months. I can say this for every single sign for the most part, I would say. There's this check-in going on. This really profound, we are no longer where we were. And I know it sounds super cheesy. It sounds like something that we just say like every month and every new year. It's like, oh, but the things that were learned in the last energetic cycle have closed out from all those retrogrades. There is this point of we are no longer there. So you have to take a minute and just accept that. And it's important to do that because this is heavy, you guys. And this is something that comes up with you Aquarians a lot. It's like you're never doing enough in your minds. You're never pushing hard enough. You could always be doing more. Like that is something that you guys have in your head. You torture yourself with this a lot and very often. And that's what's showing up here. It's that feeling that you're not doing enough, that you're not trying enough, that you're shut out from something. It's that feeling that you're sneaking around, that you're not allowed to just fully embrace this next stage. There's something that you just can't let go of, that you have to keep feeling guilty about, that you have to keep wearing on your shoulders. And it's pinging up because you have this supportive energy. And when we have supportive energy and when we have this invitation to build very strongly and very precisely on something that we want in our lives, love, career, or building a legacy, when we have that popping up in our lives, that is the moment when we have to say, I am allowed to have this. I am allowed to move forward into this. It's not when you just kind of, it's in theory, but it's not here. You can say, yeah, sure, I'd take that on. It's when it's actually arriving here that old wounded part of ourselves pings up and wants to hold us back. Pings up and wants to hold us to something familiar, a familiar pattern, a familiar way. You're hitting up against a really strong point here. Now, the way that I've been thinking about January, and especially because we are prepping for you guys to be in really beautiful energy, take time to sit with this part of yourself and be very kind to it. Wrap it up in warmth and love and say, I understand. I understand you've been burned by things. I understand you've pushed hard. I understand that things haven't always worked out. I understand that who you thought you were going to be a year ago is no longer with us now. I understand. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. You know, this is very spiritual, soul-minded stuff. This isn't about the external world putting this on you. If you buy into this, completely, and you just really let this become your mental state, then yeah, the world will start delivering those kind of aspects to you to say, yeah, okay, you said so. But I don't see that for you guys. I see this. I see communion with somebody who gets you, right? I see building on something that makes sense to you. I see you connecting in with your legacy. In fact, Leo also got the 10 of Pentacles. So he got the 5 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles, and there's something going on here with that. There is something to be grieved. There is something to say goodbye to from 2018. And there's also a much bigger thing to say yes to. And it's all showing up here at the top of the reading too, my friends, because, okay, so the moon is going to be an extremely important gateway for you. It is the moment where you open the next door. So Capricorn season's that hallway I was talking about, where we're kind of parsing through the richness of what we just saw there in the cards. The moon is that point where you say, okay, I took that moment. I took that in. I see my road options. I'm going through the doorway. You're not going to stay in this energy, but the moon is very much about that intuitive knowing, right? It is about sitting in that moment, acknowledging it, honoring it. The trick with the moon is that it can be seductive. It can be seductive. We can stay in that holding place and feel like that's where we're getting all of our information. So the one thing with the moon showing up is just to remember, this is just a moment to check in. You must move on from the moon landscape once that has left, and you have to choose to keep going forward. Because there will be a temptation to hold yourself back a little bit. There will be a temptation to hold yourself away from what is meant for you this month. That's another one of these big themes that's coming up for everybody. But look where you're supposed to be going. Look where you go once your season hits. Once that birthday's here, baby, this is where you're meant to be. Along with this 10 of Pentacles and the Strength card, look at this. Clear-sighted. You're getting your information, you're getting your answers, you're seeing where you're going to put your foot on the path, you're seeing where you're going to make those investments and where you're going to make those decisions. You're seeing how it all lines up and adds up and coalesces. How amazing is this? It's rich, supportive. You're seen, you're held, you're understood. And you know what I even love about this more? I feel like there's like this muddled quality to the energy where it's kind of like, what was that? What was that experience? What were all these things that came in and then went out, and then I said yes to this, and then it turned out to be no for this, and then it was this beautiful thing, and then it left my life, and then it came back, and then it was like, and then I was supposed to be this person, but then that didn't work out, and so now I'm over on this path, and you kind of spit out into January, and it's like, what I'm kind of seeing here is there being that it all comes together. You get, like, it makes sense. Something that didn't fully, there was like a missing piece, like what was that? Makes sense here. And with that comes this forward motion. With that comes some support for you, some kind of financial, real world support for you, stepping fully into this next version of yourself. And it's big. It is big. It's not all going to happen this month. It takes time. It takes time to build 10 of Pentacles. That's what I always say. It's not something that you just 1 week and there you go, 10 of Pentacles, ta-da! It's like, this is your lifetime legacy. It's like your lifetime work. This is like the lifetime of building a partnership with somebody, having a family with somebody, and all that kind of stuff. Whatever it is that's your big vision, it takes time. But you're getting flashes of it. And as you're getting flashes of it, you're checking in with something, right? And I was just talking to Leo about this, but 5 of Cups is the doorway card. You are standing between what has been spilled and what is about to be enjoyed. And this will be a theme that comes up for you throughout January. You are standing between those two worlds. And that's where that dual frequency is coming in for you too. You have 2 frequencies you're tapping into. And the goal is that, yes, of course, you want to be leaning a little bit more into that new frequency that's pulling you into that 10 of Pentacles, that 9 of Pentacles, that King of Swords, that Strength card, right? You want to be leaning a little bit more toward that frequency. However, there is value in taking a moment to be here. To say, yeah, that did happen. That was lost. That was shifted in me. That version of myself did go away. It did go. Yeah, I did lose some things up to this point. Yeah, it is going to stay behind that door, and I'm going to go over here, and it's not coming with me. There is something to be said for that, and acknowledging that. It's freeing. You know, it's freeing, and it's beautiful, and it's poetic, and it can feel like grief, but it can also feel like relief. Now, the Hermit is your overarching energy, and I think that's really fitting. I love this energy so much because this is the quintessential seeker, the curious soul. The curious soul that is willing to find out the truth for themselves, to see themselves fully. You know, you have a lunar eclipse in your opposite sign. That's a mirror energy for you. There's a great, big, beautiful, energetic space for you to sit and see, and really see yourself fully, see your landscape fully. This is a seeking card. If you can go into this month with a sense of curiosity and playfulness, which I trust you guys to know how to do that. You know, it's one of the things I love about you. That playful curiosity is there. And so you have that on your side in this kind of frequency shift. Yeah, you have that on your side in this kind of frequency shift. Addressing it with that playful curiosity will give you so much. It will give you those little last pieces to put the puzzle together and say, yeah, I'm ready for this next thing. It will give you that moment to, yeah, maybe feel a wave of grief and then feel a wave of excitement. It will give you that space to welcome in what I see as some beautiful love, some beautiful connection, some beautiful heart-centered experiences. It will give you that information to start to see what you are building on and why it matters. It will give you glimmerings of this huge new landscape we are just now tapping into as a collective and as individuals. It's very different. The way we treat each other, the way we interact with each other, the questions that we are bringing up are changing and shifting. The conversations are shifting. The way we're moving through the world is shifting in huge ways. And we are only now starting to see little bits of this conversation and the way that it works. And that's why there's so much grief and so much slowdown for a lot of people in January, because it's really taking off on a train from a platform and you watch that platform go away. And that platform has on it things that you once loved, things that you once were, things that you once worked on. Patterns, familiar habits, old senses of home are on that platform and you're watching it go away. And that's profound. It's profound energy. It is not, it has an impact. And we remember those moments, I think, in our lives. Now, I have an affirmation for you guys to take with you as you kind of sort through the massive, deep, profound sources of information that are coming for you this month. This is it. Timing is perfect. Answers and information arrive right when I need them. I trust this process. Timing is perfect. We have to find that space of trust. The Hermit's a truster. The Hermit trusts so deeply. Ooh, that is your modality this month. It is a powerful one. You have some very powerful wealth coming in. But you do have to kind of look at where you feel less than, right? Or where you feel like you should have done more. And where you feel like you're not worthy of this richness. Otherwise, it will hold you. It will hold you. It can hold you if you let it. I love you guys so much. Truly. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a beautiful beginning to the new year and into your birthday season. I'm so excited for Aquarius season. Yes, the year ahead readings are in the description box, as well as my website, which is SARAHTAROT.com. I do private readings. I would love to work with you, so please go check out my calendar and see if something works for you. I'm booking in March and April right now, so plan a little bit ahead and we can definitely work together. You can also follow me on Instagram at the Sarah Tarot. I would love to see you guys there. I will see you in February for more Aquarian fun, and I do think February has a lighter energy to it, a little bit more of this playfulness. But I will see you guys very soon.